Yeah, what's good, everybody? It's your boys. It's A2D's Flyers Talk A2D. We are live reacting to hopefully a better third period than we got in the second period of this Flyers game. Holy hell, we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk a little post game. We also have Flyers offensive struggles. What could be the cause of this right now? Could it be talent? Could it be size? Could be another underlying cause. We got so much to talk about. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tell your friends to do the same thing. Get your friends in the chat. It's time to get the conversation going, y'all. Let's drop the puck.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of Flyers Talk A2D right here on A2DRadio.com. I am Master City along with the Dark Wing, Brian Daly.
What's up, everybody?
And the Broken One, Rob Povia.
I heard there were a few trades at the NFL today. Anybody hear anything?
There were a few. We'll just leave it at that.
We are brought to you by, as always, Specialized Physical Therapy, the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal. If you got any aches and pains, go hit up the doc at specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Then head either to Burlington or Cherry Hill, New Jersey. After a couple of sessions with his team, you'll feel as good as new, and you'll be back to doing the things you love to do. And the poll question, as you saw before, the Flyers' lack of size has been a big part of their offensive struggles early on. Agree or disagree? Obviously, Flyers have had some moments here and there where the offense hasn't exactly been on fire. There have been good nights and bad nights. However, though, it has been stated the Flyers may not be the biggest team in the league, and they're not incorrect with that assessment. So the question is, after having just witnessed what was a very bad second period from the Flyers, how do we feel right now about this, gentlemen? Agree or disagree on this poll?
I mean, I'm definitely going to agree as we got a
fight.
Yep. I'm definitely going to agree. I think one of the things that this team is definitely missing has been size, and we saw them address that in the draft this year. I think it's a very noticeable hole that they have is the big body that's going to wind up in front of the net. You know, you go out, you get a Jack Nesbitt, you have a Jet Lachenko. These are guys that could potentially fill that role. Sean Couturier is doing the best that he can in that situation. He seems to be the only one who wants to get in front of the net. You know, some of these other guys, they like to play around the perimeter, which is fine. But one of the things that Talk has been hammering into these guys over the last couple of games has been, you know, we need to get guys in the hard parts of the ice. You know, these guys are taking shots on the perimeter. That's easy ice. You know, you got to get guys in the gritty, dirty areas. That's where a lot of secondary chances are gonna happen. You know, I feel like we've talked about this over the last few years, but that's something they definitely need to address. They got to get bigger. They got to get some of these bodies into sight lines. And, you know, it was a tough second period to watch, but yeah, they still got some scoring chances, and hopefully we see them change that, and guys like Couturier and Dvorak, and we just saw Delorier, you know, utilize the size that they have.
Right. I will say I like the fact that Delorier dropped the gloves here, kind of give the team a bit of a spark. I don't know why Montreal decided to answer that. If I was them, I would kind of just try to ignore that because, you know, you don't want to give the other team inspiration, and Delorier, I feel, won that fight. So it's like the Flyers might have a little pep in the step now in the third period, and it's only a 1-goal game. So it's, yeah, Montreal swung it in the second period right into their favor. But again, stress this, it's a 1-goal game. If the Flyers score at some point early in the third period, we're back to even. So I don't know. I feel like that was a bit of a misstep on Montreal's part. I mean, great for the Flyers, but a bit of a misstep on their part there.
I love the old school Sherwood shoulder pads he has on there. Let's go.
But, Robbie, how do you feel about it?
I'm on the other side. I think people like Brian are overreacting right now to what we're seeing. I mean, yeah, this last period, second period, there's no doubt about it. You let up 4 goals, right? The first goal was awful puck luck, bouncing off the backboards and in, right? And then the second was, I'll admit, I didn't see the other 2 goals, but that pass from Demidov was just a thing of beauty that I don't think many goaltenders are going to stop or many defenses are going to have an answer for. But let's not ignore how dominant they looked over these Montreal Canadiens, how they looked faster, stronger. Now, Montreal is also a small team too, so maybe even another smaller team could look bigger. And that's been evident in time of possession earlier on in the season. But from what I've been seeing, boys, since my time off, right, even with a few losses in tow, they have solved that time of possession. They're winning the face-offs. They're winning the puck battles. We're seeing gorgeous play from Trevor Zegras tonight. Awesome vision, awesome finish from Bobby Brink. And this is a team that's minus a few pieces right now too. So overall, I mean, size, I mean, it is an issue, and it's hard to absolutely disagree with the poll, but I don't think it's been a big part of the offensive struggles, because I don't like what struggles. Like I've seen this team perform well, and we're talking 10 games into the season, boys. Am I correct?
Yeah, 11.
Yeah,
11.
Yeah.
I wasn't here to do math. I missed one game too, so.
It's all good. I was including tonight.
So
check out the big brain on Brian.
It's not that big.
What's up, Benny?
It's a modest size.
I will say this. I think that when it comes to the reaction of people freaking out over, how oh my God, got to do a little bit better than that on that rush. But anyway, I would say the way the reaction is going with how the Flyers have played these last few games, I want to stress this, that we were going to have a come down at some point. The Flyers weren't going to be able to keep this up forever. Remember, this is still a team that is filled with a lot of young players, and some of them are still very raw. So we're dealing with a situation where, there are veterans on this team, but there's still a lot of youth on this team that is, growing, which is nice to see. I mean, we've seen some great play from guys like Forster, and we've seen great play from Owen Tippett and, and Brink, and that's wonderful stuff, and that's great. But again, young talent. So let's remember that, I think that also when you have a team like this, you're going to have a little bit more of a roller coaster of a season than you would normally. I mean, the Flyers are not the kind of team that's, although they are trying to really push here, which is nice to see. They're not the kind of team that's going to be at the top standings, for the entire year, or be in a position where it's like, oh, okay, we're safe. I'm not worried about it, because they'll turn it around and they'll rear back and we'll make the playoffs like we did the previous year. They're not one of those teams. So to me, it's just like, I get why everybody's worried. I get why they're concerned. I understand that. But at the same time, it's like, it was a great start. The come down had to happen at some point. And we were in a process of that. The question is, though, is how bad is it going to be? Is the come down to earth going to be shattering, or is it going to be one of those where it's like, okay, a little bit of the back to reality moment there. Now it's time to turn this back around and say, okay, we had a fun start. Now let's start grinding out some wins here after a couple of rough losses.
Yeah, but I'm also seeing this team out shooting Montreal Canadiens in their building 33-12.
Which is nice. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm not taking that away. I'm not saying that at all. And that's why I'm thinking it's a bit of everybody's kind of overreacting a little bit, to the last few losses, that the Flyers took.
Right. Right, I agree with you. And it's like, yeah, you got to expect the ups and downs for a team that's building this brick by brick. That's what the whole mojo of this season is, right? Taking that next step. And I just feel from what I'm seeing, if you're looking at the small elements of the game, I'm seeing a lot of good play. If you want to talk about maybe coaching decisions, there could be a couple questionable things there, right? In terms of seeing Mitchkoff being played so low down, like not getting the now. Mind you, he's moved up now because of necessity due to injury, but there's been a question of ice time. But in the end, right, we're seeing this team finish off plays, which this team has lacked finish over the last few years. Let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves, right? But not only finish on the goals, but finish on the games too. And Bobby Brink is stud puppy, making the name Bobby proud, right? And just, it's just exciting seeing these kids grow. And it's just a really good time to be a fan.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, where the Flyers are at right now, it's like, anytime they have a bad period or they have a bad moment or two, it's like, again, it's a learning moment for them. It's not like this team is a consistent playoff contender. I mean, even if they were and they were going through the last couple of losses that they went through, I don't think anyone would be freaking out as much as they are, to be brutally honest. Like if they were a consistent playoff team and they were one of the top teams in the East every year, don't get me wrong, they'll always be the ones who will bitch about it, but then there'll be plenty of people who will be like, I'm not worried about it. They'll just turn it around because they're going to make it this year like they always do. I feel like because we're in that state where, okay, we don't know where the Flyers are going to go. The Flyers could do something this year, or maybe they'll do what they did last year where they won't really do much except just try to work on the youth and build up with that progress. So I think that's why they're getting antsy about it, because they want to see it. This good play. Oh, good shot, but good save.
I mean, the one thing I do like about this team that they've done really well this year is the top two pairings have been really two of the top best team pairings in the NHL. Going into this game, I believe they were first and fourth in the top five in goals given up per pairing, which one was just under 2 and the other one was just under 3. So there's a lot of really good things. That should have been a goal.
You fanned on it.
A lot of really good things going on with this organization right now. A lot of good things going on with some of these players. Zegras has been outstanding. Brink has been outstanding. Forster, it's a shame he's on the IR right now because he's been outstanding. It's just little things for me that I'm noticing that, I think they could be doing a little bit better. I agreed with Tocchet. They got to figure out a way to get back into the gritty areas. That's where most of these teams are finding a lot of success with their scoring now is taking away the lanes, getting the secondary chances. You're going to have your games where, like tonight, Montreal had 2 really good bounces go their way. And Kirby Dach was the beneficiary of both. Vladar, I don't think, has looked bad tonight. Montebo had a shaky first period, and he's really locked it down. The Flyers had a ton of good scoring chances in the second period. They could easily either lead it. Oh, there's another good chance there.
Good try.
Or
good try.
have tied this game. So, don't think I'm in any way kind of not like overexcited or anything, but like what I'm seeing from this team tonight is kind of what I've wanted to see over the last couple games. Good quality shots, giving this team a ton of scoring chances. You haven't seen a lot of it. Who did they just play? Who did they just lose to? Calgary. They didn't really get any good scoring chances until mid to late third period. And then that's when they finally cashed in. But, overall, I'm very pleased with where this team is. And, yeah, there's growing pains. Absolutely, 100%. There's going to be for the next year or two.
Right. Especially a sophomore year for Mitchkoff, to Benny's point. Where would this team be if Mitchkoff was a player from last year? Well, maybe some more time on ice could help towards that. As he builds up stamina, that'll happen. Right. But let's not forget, TK's been a ghost too.
Yeah.
Where is this team going to be once TK's rolling? And you know that's going to happen, right? What's interesting is I was listening to both feeds tonight. I was listening to the TSN feed from tonight, and they were talking about maybe Konechny saving some energy for those Olympics. And maybe that might be in some of the veterans' back of their minds because it is early on, right? Yeah, the Flyers were right there in contention. Now they've dropped back, right? But they're 13 points, and the top point getters in the Eastern Conference, I believe, are at 15, 18 points. So, I mean, like, it's tight. It's super early. And I just there's a lot of promise. I'm very encouraged. This is a better start than I thought they would get to. And it's without the services of Mitchkov and TK.
Yeah. And to kind of build off of what you were saying about coaching decisions, I think the biggest question right now, as far as coaching decision goes, is why Taki doesn't play Mitchkov more. And obviously we got a little bit of that answer, but in order for him to really start to build that stamina up a little bit more, really get that buzz going, he's got to get on the ice more than 10 minutes a game.
Yeah, right.
He's got to not be playing with guys like Dvorak and Hathaway. Put him with like a Grabankin or get him up on to one of the first two lines and get him going. He's got to be on the ice more for sure.
And he's looked good on the power play. I mean, that's an element where this overall power play has looked really good. And we saw that tonight in the first period for certain. And Zegras being included in on that, Bobby Brink with 2 goals. I don't think both were on the power play. At least one was, though. But Zegras with 2 power play helpers. And Mitchkov's looked good there. So, I mean, as this team starts playing better 5-on-5, getting more confident with that transition game, they're going to draw more penalties, elicit more power play time. That's a good way to get Mitchkov more time on ice to what really appeals to his skill set. And I think, too, where we saw this team throw this game back in Montreal's favor is they reverted to an early season trend, and that's taking penalties in bad areas. I wouldn't say they were dumb tonight like they were earlier in the season, but certainly in bad areas, and that put them behind the 8 ball, giving the Montreal power play an opportunity to match the power play efforts from the first period, Maddie.
Yeah. That's the big problem of, you get into penalty trouble and it's only going to give the other team an opportunity to get back into the game. And it definitely helped Montreal in a big way. And like anything, you don't have to score on the power play. If it's a solid, really good power play and you had a lot of great chances, it's just going to get the confidence boosted up, and it's just going to cause a lot more frustrations for you because you're allowing the opponent to get back into the game. Now, that's not to say that, it would have been easy for the Flyers to hold on to a very early gotten lead, but at the same time, it doesn't help your case when you're literally handing the momentum to Montreal in the second period. You can't do that.
Yeah, and
the Habs fans were crying for that penalty, Brian. I'm sure they were up in arms.
Some of them still are. But even to go off of what there's one.
Oh, there we have it. There we go, boys. Great goal.
Is that Jamie?
That's Nikita.
Oh, Nikita, nice.
Nikita got it.
There we go. Grabankin, good one. Good one.
To build off of what I was just about to say was more to build off of what you were saying, Robbie. Even the last power play opportunity that the Flyers had, they may not have scored, but they absolutely 100% was a great effort. They got a ton of scoring chances. They owned the zone for a good chunk of it. It's not always going to end in the positive result that we want it to be, but a good power play like that builds momentum. And obviously we see Flyers are kind of carrying that momentum right now, leading into the Grabankin goal, which was an absolute snipe.
That was nice. I think it definitely helped too. Montembeault lost his stick, and so that definitely helped the situation.
True that.
Yeah, I'm streaming, fellas, so I know we might be behind those that are joining us live.
So Benny,
I got 8:55, 8:54, 8:53.
I'm at 8:50. So for those who may be tuning in with us right now, 4-4 now, a goal from Mikhail Grabankin, which gives us a nice 4-4 lead, or a 4-4 tie. Everything's back to evens now.
That kid deserves to be on the ice more often than he is too.
That puck changed hands very quickly in that short area before the
That
Gerbenka
did.
goal. I think it was like a tip pass from Drysdale to TK to Gerbenka, and like that's why he had that's why he was able to cross that seam there through the hash marks, and then because normally the defense is going to allow for that, but that was disguised very well.
It was
very, very well.
It was a good screen.
Yeah, it is your bad.
I will say that one thing to definitely talk about because I mean he added to it. Let's give a little bit of love to Trevor Zegras. I mean, my God, this guy is on fucking fire right now since coming over to Philly.
I give him love every week.
Well, I know, but let's give some more to him. I mean, the guy's literally just sitting at the top of the pack of a start to the season. The only person he's behind is Forsberg. So, I mean, that's pretty damn impressive when you really put that into perspective.
Well, including tonight, 15 points in 12 games played. So, I mean, that's or is this 13 now? To your point, Brian, earlier. I don't know. I lose track of games. But either way, that's still about that's over a point per game production. So I mean, you're definitely getting more, and we deserved it. The way Cutter is performing for you all, we deserve Zegras to be performing too, because
100%.
It's a crying shame, but he didn't want to play here, so I guess that's that. But thanks, Torts. Anyway, moving on. But no, Zegras definitely, I mean, has exceeded expectations. I'm it's good that they've been mixing him back and forth between center and wing, but it really seems like he's getting more wing play and he's looking good.
Oh, he's looking fantastic. He's looking fantastic. Yeah. He's got his swagger back. He just knows what to do with the puck. He's so confident right now. Yeah, Ducks may have won the Cutter trade, and Cutter's been just outstanding to start this year. Jamie has not looked bad by any stretch. Anybody that says the Cutter trade has been a clear win, I'm not necessarily sure that's true because, offensive numbers aren't there for Jamie right now, but Jamie has looked very good defensively. He's breaking up plays. He's knocking pucks away, But Zegras, he's just been just a different player. I don't even think he's been this confident in Anaheim.
But here's the key, though. Here's the key. Jamie's giving you 21, 42 minutes a night as a right-handed defenseman. Mm-hmm. So it's just a different role. It's apples and oranges, so you can't really compare the two. I've been seeing that comparison as well.
Yeah.
Joe's saying, thank God a commercial. I need a breather. This has been an exciting game. Yes, it has been.
It's been a very good game, absolutely.
But I also will say this, too. It's like the thing about Drysdale is it's like, Drysdale, like you said, Robbie, he's a D-man. It's a little bit of a different dynamic. You have a forward and a D-man, two different positions, two different mentalities, two different styles of play that you're going to have to be taking into account. Drysdale's not necessarily going to show up on the score sheet every night, but as long as he's doing the little things right for the defensive side of things, then that's all that we need him to do at the end of the day. Sure, him getting a goal or an assist here and there wouldn't hurt things, but as long as he's doing all the necessary things when it comes to penalty kill, when it comes to power play, when it comes to being in the defensive zone or keeping the puck in the offensive zone, as long as he's doing all those little things right, then that's fine. Cutter can have all the highlight reels he wants. As long as Jamie does his job fine here, I don't give a shit. I could care less.
She is. That's one of the things that I've been kind of big about this season has been how Jamie's performance has been on the back end. He's a big part of the reason why the Flyers have two pairings in the top 10 in goals against as far as defenseman pairings go. It's Jamie and Sealer. It's Yorkie and Sanheim. So, I see people harping on these guys all the time, but if you look at it, that pairing's giving up less than 2 goals a game. If you look at the other pairing, they're giving up less than 3 goals a game.
Right.
They're playing really, really well this year, and it's very under the radar. And it's helping Vladar play just as well as he's been all season long. So,
right.
kind of half and half on tonight. But
well, I mean, obviously, Vladar had a great start to his season. It's like, but we all knew Vladar he's a tandem goaltender. So, we knew at some point it was like, all right, Vladar's not going to be able to just be lights out every single night. We knew that was not.
He's exceeded my expectations. He's taken the stranglehold on this, and Harrison is continuing to disappoint. I mean, he's proving me wrong.
Yeah. I will say, though, yes, out of the two goaltenders, the most consistent and the most trustworthy one so far has absolutely been Vladar by a mile.
Yeah, for sure. He's showing that ceiling that he had 2 seasons ago for Calgary. I believe it was 2 seasons ago, where he had a save percentage north of 900. And yeah, I mean, you're not going to expect it to be 935. That's asking for a little too much. But hey, right now, this tandem's good for the style that Tocchet plays in terms of riding the hot hand, because that's what you got to do until you get your franchise guy, developed and ready to play.
Right, 100%.
All right, so the Flyers just iced the puck. Not the most advisable thing to do, but it is what it is.
I mean, even to build off of the goalie conversation, which it's so weird seeing Dobson in that uniform. You look at the way Kolosov played against Calgary the other night. You can't really complain about what Kolosov has done either. He's looked pretty good in his small sample size down in the AHL right now. And like I said, I've been saying it a couple of times this offseason, he got humbled and he started to play more his style. And you're starting to see the comfort level that he's getting playing over on this side of the league. So, even if Harrison doesn't wind up, and he's not getting sent down by any means, but if he does continue to struggle and say Danny decides he wants to go out on a limb and play a wild card and say, hey, I'm going to carry 3 goalies, Kolosov could be that guy that's getting called up.
Could be.
And he could be a small glimpse into what the future is.
Could be. Could very well be. If
Don't
his play stays.
Yeah. I don't honestly see it happening, but you never know. With rebuilding teams, anything can happen.
Hey, listen, there have been plenty of, you can go throughout all of NHL history. You can find players that come out of nowhere in the goaltending side of things that were just sitting down in the minors for years. And then all of a sudden they come up to the big dance and like, holy shit, where's this guy been the entire time? Jose and TK and Michkov are the same player right now. They seem to be overthinking out there. Lots of unforced turnovers and bad passes. I can agree. I think that it might be also the pressure that they're putting on themselves too. I mean, obviously, it's no big secret that there was a lot of, there's a lot of expectation when it comes to TK right off the bat. And that should be a no-brainer that you expect a lot of TK. But at the same time with Michkov, I'm not surprised either. I'm sure that if maybe not everyone is expecting a ton from him because of him still being young and developing, he's probably putting it on himself, because he's a young guy. He's a young kid. Yeah, he's got a good positive energy about him, but that doesn't change the fact that up here he's probably, he's probably feeling some pressure. He's been given that superstar anointment, I'm sure that's not lost on him. I'm sure it's not lost on anybody. Mm-hmm. So that can add pressure to you real quick. So, then that's the time when somebody like Rick Tocchet has to come in and has to kind of calm him down. Veterans on the team have to come in, like a Couturier, have to come in and kind of calm him down. Like, no, let's simplify this, and let's not go too overboard with it. For TK, it's a bit of a different ballgame. It's like, okay, man, just stop fiddle fucking around and get back to doing what you're doing. It's like, what you have to do. We know what you need to do.
And to his credit, he has looked better tonight. He's made a lot of good plays in this game. So both 5-on-5 and shorthanded has been his forte. He had a nice rush there during the second period. So, but there's no doubt about it that with Michkov, it's heavy expectations that you get in a major sports metropolitan. It's not an easy burden to carry, and you need tough shoulders. Good thing. Kid's got tough shoulders.
Yeah,
he does. He does.
Yeah, he does. Now, my thing with TK is once he gets, I think he needs to get 1 or 2 I would say within the next couple of games to really get him going. I think with him, it's just an absolute confidence thing. He's squeezing his stick a little too hard. But I'm with you 100%, Robbie. TK has looked really good in this game. He's definitely had his number of opportunities. He's seeing the lanes a little bit better than he has been. So he's made a couple of really nice passes. He had one at the end of the second period, too. I think it was Christian Dvorak. It was just Montebo was side to side, I was a killer save to end the period. That would have been an absolute killer goal for Montreal to give up at the end of the second. This could have been a very different third period.
Very much.
Yeah, where Flyers are defending a 5-4 lead at this juncture. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
39-14 right now. Wow.
That is
nice
crazy to think about. Yeah.
15 now. In shots. Shots.
Lane Hudson is just disgusting at hockey.
Yeah, no kidding.
Montreal's
and to think that they might have 2 back-to-back holder champs.
I know.
Oh boy, that was right.
Demidov right now has just looked absolutely disgusting as well.
Filthy.
That assist was gross too. He had tonight.
This Montreal team, man, they are set for the future. They've got a nice young team they've got here, and last year I don't think was a fluke and them getting into the playoffs by any stretch of the imagination.
You know, I've been having a little crush on Kirill the Thrill. But I think I'm going to have to trade up for a younger model. You know what I mean? There's my new crush there, Devin. I don't know if I could do it, though. Montreal is giving me too many heartbreaks, but he's a fine young player. No doubt about it. 19 years old, not even 20.
And he's already just killing it. Let's see here.
Yeah. It's a shame. I know you boys last week talked a lot about, Jetlachenko getting sent down. Both of the same age, you see the difference in terms of the talent pool that it takes, or the skill set, I should say, that it takes to stay at this level as a 19-year-old versus a 19-year-old that really needs to go back and continue working on his game, especially defensively.
Yeah. So I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up, Robbie, because I guess it was a couple days ago. I got a report. They were able to trade Jetlachenko out of Gulf Storm.
Good.
So he went to the Windsor Spitfires, and he wound up having a pretty decent first game. Believe he had a goal in his first game with Windsor. So,
nice.
It's a much better developmental team for him. Just going to be a much tougher competition. So hopefully he can use that to obviously take his game to the next level. Spitfires have put out a lot of good NHL talent, and hopefully they can get one more.
Oh, that was scary.
And every player is different too.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What it takes for them to get to where they need to be. Oof.
Hey, why is my cable acting up? There it goes.
Why does Comcast? Anyway.
Did it freeze for you too, Maddie?
It did.
Oh, okay. So it's not just me.
At a very critical juncture, too. It looked like Montreal was about ready to take a shot. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? So we'd be saying the Flyers have really been a perimeter team all season, not doing very much close to the net, which is why they are so low and second to the last in shots per game. Tonight, that's looking differently, though.
Correct. Absolutely. Not only just in the shot disparity, but also just look at Bobby Brink's 2 goals, really just rushing the net, and Grebenkin too.
Right.
Grebenkin,
And there's nothing.
The game's higher.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. Ugly ones count. So if you got to bum rush that fucking net and get that goal.
Not quite the guy you want with the puck right there, but you never know Hathaway.
Well, I mean, if he can be strong on the puck, at least it can, the Flyers can try and move it.
He can shoot though too, which is nice.
And all right, Montreal got it. So it's looking like we're gonna have some overtime. All right then. So we get a point. So does Montreal. One's on the table still. So we'll find out who's going to get that other point. So, okay. But hey, give credit where credit is due. Flyers, they had a terrible second period. They managed to let the lead slip from their fingers. But They had a strong power play, and they got rewarded, even though they didn't score on that power play. But Grebekin got himself a nice goal, his first goal in the league, and tied the game up. So, you know what? Like we said before, momentum shifts, and you get rewarded for them sometimes, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, they just got to make sure they get this win. They deserve the 2 points after that first period and after that third period. An unfortunate second period where Montreal got some bounces. They got some momentum to go their way. That goal that was given up on the power play to, I think it was, who was it for Montreal? It doesn't matter, but that was a ticky-tack call. I thought it was a little bit of a soft tripping call. And obviously you see where, Couturier was not happy with it, or Sanheim wasn't happy with it. So let the goalie hear about it. But it is what it is. You got the goal back. You got the overtime, so you got a point now. You just got to finish it off and get that final point.
Right. Joe's saying, is Forster playing tonight? Haven't seen him. Nope. On the IR, unfortunately. So we're saying no puck carriers on this team either.
Well, there's 18 of them.
So we also says the guy Kyrou anywhere close to his brother? No. He's not. I think Jordan Kyrou is the more talented of the two.
Yeah, Christian, I think, is here for defensive depth. They gave away Tuamala because they needed right wing depth in their organization. I think hopefully the addition of Jordan Kyrou is going to keep Andre up on the roster a little bit longer, but you never know.
Right.
Hopefully that's what that trade is telling me.
Okay, so Montreal is 5-0 in overtimes, and the Flyers are 1-1. So this is something Montreal is very familiar with this season. So, oh boy. Well, if you haven't, if your butt cheeks haven't clenched yet, they probably did after seeing that. So,
Joe, get your oxygen ready.
Yeah, here we go. All right, so 3-on-3 overtime.
Play for the shootout?
Yeah, since it seems to be Montreal's fucking specialty. Well, I don't know. That seems to be Urson's specialty, and we don't have him in net right now.
Oh, that's true. Dang it. All right. Yeah, but I mean the Flyers.
Well, who knows? Maybe we could treat it like a pitcher in baseball. We can bring in a goalie just for the shootout.
Come on, Z. Let's get a third point tonight.
All right, so here we go. Flyers going to push
on
in.
He's averaging like 2 points, almost 2 points a game. That's disgusting.
It is.
He's had like a bunch of multi-point games this year.
They're being patient with it. They're not doing anything crazy.
No, that's good. Open them up.
Yeah, I like it. Take your time. As long as you got possession, that's the key of 3-on-3. Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Reset, get some fresh legs out.
Yeah, Montreal's doing a good job of just kind of keeping everything closed off there.
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'm good. Oh, there you go.
Caught him.
Get
good
there.
Save.
Who's it?
There you go. They picked it back up, though. Damn it. Montreal's got it.
Lane Hudson lost an edge.
He did. He got a little overzealous there.
Hey, Don, I'm sorry about the other night. We had to kind of put the smackdown on Gibby there in his return to Anaheim. My apologies. And listen, even more apologies there, Don. The hell was that? Sorry. ADD kicked in.
Good save, Ladar.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, that trade has been just piss poor for both teams. I hope Gibby at least steps up for you. Oh, that was off the post.
That was scary.
Yeah, hopefully Gibby at least turns it around and helps you guys. But
come on, Jamie, hold on to it.
Mrazek looks like trash.
All right, he shot it up. All right.
Okay, good. I was going to say just don't ice it.
Right. I give Jamie a little bit of credit there. He did stay on that puck. He didn't lose
Don. Ducks look real good. 7-3-1. They're sitting in second place in the division.
So Montreal back in the zone. I'm surprised he didn't shoot that.
I was actually surprised he didn't get a stick on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Down
don't know.
low. Oh no! Oh no! Full good poke check, Vladar. Good poke check.
I was going to say I didn't like that shot selection there, but it looks like it paid off for Montreal.
Yeah, it did on that occasion. It almost could have. It almost came back and bit us right in the ass there.
Yeah, I don't like that Montreal has a possession now.
No,
They're utilizing their speed right now. There goes Lane.
they
again.
are. They are blazing.
Oh, you got lucky there.
We did. Lost an edge again. They're just gonna keep it under. Yeah, that was smart. Smart play on their part.
Yeah.
They got a feed. No, they don't. They almost
No,
did.
there you go, Z.
Okay,
Take
there
it.
we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Yep. There you go. Don't rush it. Don't rush it.
I hate overtime.
Slow it down. Slow it down. Oh, that was a bad choice. I don't know what they were thinking on that one. That was a terrible choice. Whew, shot it wide. Wow, he shot it wide.
TK.
All right, there you go. Okay, he's got it. There's the shot. Oh, went high and wide. All right, face off.
Would love to see JD get a game winner there.
Yeah, it would be nice. Tonda say, fuck it, make it 1v1 OT.
Yes, please. It'd just be Deke City.
Pretty much.
Guys breaking ankles left and right.
There's some scary opportunities that Montreal's had in this overtime.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to hit the net. It looked like they hit one post and Demidov shot it way wide. So you got to hit the net to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, definitely some shot selection been a little questionable.
Besides taking a penalty there in the second period, Sean Couturier has looked good tonight. Continues to look good on the season. Also battling back. You know, he's been banged up a little bit too or whatnot. This is a good showing to show that he could be close to 100%.
Yeah, no, he's looked good. I took a couple bumps and bruises over the last few games, but I agree. I think Coots has looked pretty fantastic this year early on. You know, outside of missing those couple games, you know, he makes good decisions with the puck as he used to. You know, he usually goes straight for the front of the net, which I always loved about his game. But yeah, he's looking like he's starting to be a little bit more himself.
So they just called a penalty on Montreal for a slash. Not that it's 6 seconds left, though, in overtime.
Well, get one of those face-offs like G used to do and just shoot it right on that.
Yeah. 6-second power play. All started from the turnaround. Yeah, Demidov wound up hitting Tippett's stick.
All right. Well, let's see.
That was pretty egregious. You got to call that no matter what the situation, right?
100% every time.
Okay. So they added some time to the clock, so it's 1:12.
How do you go from 6 seconds to 1:12?
I don't know, but that is what it's showing on the scoreboard right now.
All right. That's interesting.
Oh, there it goes. They fixed it.
Oh, they fixed it. Okay,
Yeah.
7.2. Okay, so all right, that makes sense because like 1.12, 112. It's like
I think it looked like they put the wrong time in the wrong sections.
That's probably what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
Damn it, truck!
crazy.
Get your shit together.
That's crazy that they would put that much time. Hey, we're going to give the Flyers that much of an advantage. We'll give them another minute 12.
Yeah, we'll give them a minute 12 of power play time.
Why not? I think Montreal fans would burn it down if that ever happened. I would 100%.
They would be so fucking mad. So 7.2 seconds on the clock here. Flyers could hopefully get a win on the faceoff and just get a shot out if they can.
Scariest 3-player lineup to face an OT. There's a few teams. Montreal, I think, has one of the scariest.
Oh,
Quick.
shoot
Quick.
it. Shoot it.
Oh, he blocked it.
Blocked. All right, shoot out it is.
That was a good opportunity. I liked what they did. They opened up the space and they let TK take the shot. I would have 100%. I would have done the same thing.
Right. Suzuki, though, he took one for the team there.
Montreal's got a scary one. Don. Minnesota's got a scary one. Edmonton obviously has a scary one.
I would not want to face. I think Edmonton would be the one I'd be really terrified of. Because, I mean, at any moment, that team can strike offensively.
I mean, you got the one that scares me right now the most is Montreal. You got Demidov, you got Cole Caulfield, and you have Lane Hudson. 3 young stud puppies that are just getting better every year.
Yeah, like I said, it was not a fluke last year when Montreal made the playoffs. They earned that shit.
Philly's getting to that point. They just got to get some consistency. Anaheim has some a pretty good 3v3 line with Leo and McTavish. It just depends. There's a lot of them, D.
And Joe's saying we still have a power play, so they shouldn't be allowed to have a goalie for our first shootout attempt. Ryan saying, Swoopy saying, do you guys think Tippett should be or has the ability to be getting right around 70 points consistently?
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He has the ability, and he's gotten the promotion too, playing on top line minutes right now. I believe he's at 21, 22 minutes. Yeah, 21 minutes, 28 shifts tonight. He's calming down with the puck. You know, he's not so nervous and herky jerky. Yeah, and he's really coming into his own. I think this could be the beginning of something special as Montreal misses the first shot.
Good. I agree with you, Robbie, wholeheartedly. I think he's calmed down so much. He's a bit more patient like he was 2 years ago. He's getting some better shot selections, and he's just finding ways to put him in.
All right, Zegras now going to be the first shooter for the Flyers, and he is taking his sweet ass time.
Going out wide.
There it is.
Oh, and there is a beauty right there through the 5-hole.
Greatest shootout shooter in NHL history.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I thought so. Yeah, well, that's right. You talked about that before in the past when he was with Anaheim.
All right.
On the shorthand on the shootout.
So, Cole Caulfield now for Montreal. Vladar did a good job of making sure Demidov had nothing to shoot at.
He scares me. Oh, he's just slowed right down. Oh, okay.
Nice. Okay, good.
Got that pad.
Good patience from Vladar there. Didn't really give Caulfield anything. I mean, just the glide on Caulfield is amazing. Like the skating ability is just unbelievable.
All right, let's see if Mitchie can end this now.
All right, Mitchkov, let's do it. Come on. And yeah, Montembeault snuffed it out.
Good move, though. But yeah, Cole Caulfield, get back to him. 10 goals, 15 points already on the young season. There's a reason why I picked to put him on the thumbnail tonight to represent the opposition. He's been lighting it up.
Yeah.
And he's
just not on the shootout tonight.
No.
Right. All right.
To the point that I make all the time is size doesn't matter in the NHL anymore. Oh, what a save. Game that match, boys.
Good shit. By the paddle. Nice shit, Vladar. Whew. All right.
Got the 2 points they deserve from the jump.
Yeah.
Good shit, boys. Another win in the shootout for the Flyers, who were 2-0 going into tonight. Now they're 3-0. What the fuck is going on right now? The Flyers are undefeated in shootouts? What a weird
Maybe he might have lost control of it.
I think so. I think looking at it now. Yeah, Suzuki lost it. Yep. Whew, Flyers had a little bit of luck on that one. Little bit of lady luck. I think that was the hockey gods balancing it out for us on that one.
Yeah, went off the toe instead of the heel, which is where he wanted it.
Yeah.
Big win. What's up, Tommy? I see
Hey,
Tommy in the chat.
Yeah. Big win tonight. Absolutely.
Brought the good positive juju there. And I mean, we need that a little bit, but let's get, that was set up to be a spectacular save. That was good positioning there. And I was talking in the chat before, I believe, either with Joe or Benny about how Vladar looked slow going back and forth tonight. Well, he saw a lot less rubber on him tonight, less than the Trojan man, in fact. You know what I mean? And that's hard to keep sharp, and that's hard to keep. It's hard to keep just your head in the game as well too. So right there, though, when the game was on the line, this guy shows the ability to you got to be consistent first of all, and I believe Vladar and Arison have, I mean, not so far this season with Arison, but he has shown that consistency in the past. But it takes this spectacular save here and there, and that's something I don't think I've ever really seen from Arison. So if Vladar could provide that along with the consistency, that stranglehold that we spoke about earlier in the show of Vladar taking more of the reps between the pipes in Philadelphia, it could definitely come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, again, this was really hard fought game. Didn't have to be that way, but the Flyers did wind up getting the win though at the end of the day. And now, Joe can take himself off of the respirator. Everything's good now. And we got a victory here against Montreal. And you know what? It's good after taking 2 tough losses. You get a good victory here in Montreal, and now you can move forward and build off of that.
Amen.
And let's see here. Benny saying, did Vladar hurt himself there? He didn't look good coming off of the ice.
Oh, I didn't notice. I didn't notice because I'm watching the other feed.
No, I didn't notice either. I mean, it's possible he may have just tweaked something, having to reach all the way back the way he did. I don't know if it'd be serious or not. I'll have to say.
Hopefully not. Joe saying, when did Martin St. Louis turn into Shane McMahon?
No chance.
Hey, man, ever since he got it all cleaned up, he doesn't have his long hair anymore. And he's gray.
Yeah. Swoopy also saying, best of all-time shooter in shootouts, making this team become one of the best team in the shootout now. A coincidence? Well, I mean,
I think not.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Flyers with a big win here. 5-4 your final score in a shootout. So, as you talked about before, with this particular win and with this particular game, what do you see with the Flyers here, besides the fact that they had that rough second period, what else do you think it really stuck out to you from their performance tonight?
Well, I'll jump in and say real quick, if indeed Vladar tweaks something there that causing him to miss time, one thing we haven't talked about tonight is the fine play from Alexei Koloslov and really showing that he's, looking like he's like, hey, I ain't dead yet. I have my hat in the ring for being franchise goaltender, or at least a starter here, a potential starter. Maybe this might give that kid an opportunity if he did tweak something. In terms of tonight, Maddie, I love the puck possession, right? Playing big. And like I said earlier in the show, Montreal were kind of similar team built on speed and skill. Right. And, with the Flyers, to your point, Brian, they drafted for size, and that will eventually come and fill in those gaps. But until then, that's how you're going to beat teams. And they weren't always making that great, crisp outlet pass going from blue line to blue line. And I saw a ton of that tonight, a ton of that, making good decisions in the defensive zone with both body and position and stick position to cause disruption of Montreal's passing. and then keying those outlets and it keyed to a lot of offensive opportunities. The shot totals tonight overall at the end of the game, 42-20.
Yeah.
And that's what teams were doing to the Flyers when we began this season. So that's nice to see. And also, if I am right that Montreal is a similar team built on size and skill, holding them to 20 shots, that's an achievement, Brian.
No, 100%. And I'm with Tommy. I love the response tonight. You go out in the last couple games, I believe they had 15 shots against Toronto and like 20 against Calgary, something along those lines. I like the fact they came out and they put up 42 shots. You guys know me. I'm not the biggest fan on quantity. I'm more of a fan of quality of shots. But the other thing I love is the resiliency. There's a lot of teams in this league, especially in the situation that the Flyers are in, that would 100% give up 4 goals in one period, and you'll never see them in the offensive zone again. Flyers didn't give up. They fought back. They got the game-tying goal. They fought back. They took it to overtime, and they got the second point in a shootout. The resiliency of this team this year so far has really been something that I really like about this team. They're not giving up. You have your games where, they look kind of slow coming out, but by the end of the game, they're fighting. There's no lack of fight in this team. And I think having Talk as a coach is a good reason for that. These guys want to get back to the playoffs. They don't want to be the rebuilding team. They want to compete for a cup. I love seeing it, and then you bring in a couple guys that are going to continue to build the culture of this locker room. These guys are playing for each other, and it's showing right now. And I feel like this team's only going to get better as the season continues to go along. Look at the 200th goal that TK scored the other night. They posted a big picture. There was like maybe a quarter of the roster in that picture with him. Yeah. So this team they're playing together, and you love it. The camaraderie is second to none, and it's causing them to be resilient. I love it.
Right. And Matt brought up a great point earlier, and it proved to be a game-turning moment when Nick Delorier wanted to drop the gloves, and they obliged, and it really changed the vibe and the momentum of that game. And you talk about a response. You got punched in the mouth in the second period, to Brian's point, 4 goals. And Delorier, that's why you have him up on the roster, the active lineup tonight. That's how he can change a game, and he certainly did, Maddie.
Yeah, and again, it's like this is the thing about momentum. That's basically what happened here. Montreal had all the momentum on their side going into this third period. They had the lead, 4-3. They came all the way back from 3-1. They had the wind in their sails, and the next thing you know, they're taking really stupid risks here. It's like you don't get into a fight unless you know you're going to win. And then 2, you also don't oblige the other team and give them a chance to sneak their way back into this and shift the momentum. And then they take a penalty, which then helped us shift the momentum even further in our direction. And then guess what happens? Gribbekin gets that goal. Mm-hmm. Just 1 or 2 little mistakes is enough to change the entire dynamic. That's the beautiful thing and the difficult thing about hockey. It's wonderful when it happens for you, and it is bullshit when it doesn't. But it's why we love the sport so much. But this is Montreal. This is a very coachable loss here for them to realize, hey, we had this game going in our way and got squirrely there in the third period and paid for it.
Well, we saw it tonight, and we've seen it over the past few years. This team is sort of emblematic of their captain, Nick Suzuki. They're a snarky team, and they'll be quick to make an undisciplined play, like patting a guy on the head or the goaltender and getting the team fired up, right?
Yeah.
Right? And that's what you saw tonight, to where you take undisciplined penalties, you accept fights, and it costs you.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely. What's up, Lenny? Happy belated, brother. Yeah, it's just took a couple dumb penalties. They looked really good on the power play. So you can't really see that the refs were calling one way or the other. It was pretty even keel throughout the entire game, which was good. Power play looked good for the most part. A couple opportunities they didn't really look great in, but I would say at least 3 of them could have had goals on, which you had first 2, you had the goals, and then you had 1 later in the game. But you got to figure out a way to spark the offense. You got to figure out a way to get them going. Delorier did that with the fight. I think the power play did that with their last power play opportunity. I think it got the guys going, got them buzzing.
Mm-hmm.
You go out and you get that last goal.
Yeah, you do what you got to do. Joe's saying if Zegras has a 70-plus assists this year, do you think that could intrigue some big-name goal-scoring UFAs to sign with us next summer?
No. And the only reason why I'm saying no, well, there's 2 reasons. One reason, Zegras is an RFA at the end of the year, so the Flyers have to lock him up. 2, all the intriguing games have already signed extensions, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a different world nowadays in the NHL. The free agency market isn't what it used to be. A lot of times it seems like the free agency is more used just to tidy up a few things. Whereas any big major names, they're all taken care of usually by that time.
Well, maybe down the road, though. I mean, Zegras, hey, even if he were to put up that type of season 1 year, that's 1 year.
Right.
Showed me you could do it a second year. And then maybe that becomes an established, okay, this guy is just serving up cookies to everybody. And then they're going to bring in, that eventually might elicit a valuable commodity, right? Mm-hmm. Or at the very least, it feeds a Porter Martone, who's been killing it right now. Looking so good.
100%.
So good.
But the first step in that equation there, Joe, 100%, you got to get Zegras on the contract for next year. That's going to be the big one. And if I'm Danny, we've seen what he can do in Anaheim. We're seeing what he can do here. He's playing with probably a higher confidence level than he's ever been a part of. I'm giving him close to a max deal. I'm giving him a 5 or 6 year contract offer, and I'm going to throw him $7.5, $8, maybe even $8.5 million. I'm going to give him a $3 million raise at least. I'm throwing money his way.
Yeah. I mean, I think Zegras is definitely earning. He's definitely earning a nice new paycheck right now. I mean, he's doing really well, doing phenomenal. Porter the savior.
The one thing I will say too, like it's really heartbreaking knowing Eichel's locked up, Kaprizov is locked up, McDavid's locked up, Stolarz just got locked up, Logan Cooley got locked up. Like, come on, man! Like, Flyers can't catch a break to get any of these guys to come here. But
I mean,
it's always via trade, so you never know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, again, it's the way that the NHL has shifted. It used to be where, okay, there's going to be some tantalizing free agents out there. Nowadays, it's like, no, that period is over in the NHL. GMs are way too crafty anymore with the cap. It was different back when the cap was still relatively new, or at least people were kind of thinking they could just not circumvent it, but kind of sidestep it a little bit. It's like, we could still do some things here and there and, stay under the cap. Nowadays, GMs just work with it and keep it under wraps and keep everything locked down. So, it's just the way it is. So, could you imagine, though, if we were living in an era still with no salary cap or a luxury tax? I mean, I don't think much would change in terms of teams that would be competitive, and the Flyers would not be drafting young players. They would be constantly going out and just signing free agents. But, it would be very interesting. It'd be a very interesting what-if situation if we don't have a salary cap or if we have a luxury tax in the NHL.
I'm trying to see if there's any other intriguing names out there.
Lenny's saying, what the fuck is wrong with Michkov? The out-of-shape thing is gone now. No, it's more like what we were talking about earlier. We're thinking that it's more of a mental thing with him right now. And the pressure's on him. I definitely think that he's got to be feeling it just a little bit. Overthinking, and just kind of holding the stick a little too tight. I'm sure that once he gets a goal and he, kind of calms down a little bit, that, everything will get back to normal. It happens, unfortunately. The ebb and flow is gonna happen.
Right, and then you get the conditioning, and then you got to thus earn the ice time at that point. And taking a quick look tonight, he did rake in 15 minutes, 28 seconds, and 21 shifts, so there was an increase there. Some of that, do with Forrester out and him moving up a line, but, but I mean, I think you got to, mental, yes, Matty, but you need to give the guy time to eat on the ice. You know what I mean? So I think as he starts earning more ice time, you'll be able to see more results, because Lenny's right. The out of shape thing is gone now.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I do agree with that. I think that Tocchet does need to kind of well, listen, what this kid's capable of. The talent that he has. Let him have his opportunities. Let him work on this. He's got a whole bunch of guys that can join him on that line that can help get him going. There's plenty of guys on this team that can work with him.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, it's tough because you have a bunch of guys that are playing really well right now. You really don't want to move them. TK is tough because he's playing really poorly right now, but you can't give him less than 20 minutes a game. It's a tough situation, and it sucks. But unfortunately, right now, Michkov is a guy that's unfortunately taking the brunt of it right now. But I'm in full agreement with Robbie here. They have to figure out a way to get him on the ice more, give him more opportunities to try and put the puck in the net. To his credit tonight, looked fantastic, especially on the power play. So yeah, I think he's earning the trust a little bit more. Again, having Typho out might be a part of it, but if this is the opportunity for him right now, he's got to take advantage of it. They have more tape on him now, so teams are adjusting to him. Now it's up to Michkov to adjust to the guys adjusting to him. So he's got to figure out a way to be more creative and hopefully not force too many plays like he has been in the past few games, minus tonight, and just be creative. Allow him to be himself. And it's going to come with a little bit more time.
Right. Lenny's saying one of the worst cases of snake bit, or has he just tuned Talk out? I would say that more the snake bit side than him tuning out Talk. I don't think he's tuning him out.
Questionable decision making in terms of moving and occupying in space too, and I think that comes with transitioning still from the KHL to the NHL game, as that's a developmental thing for a lot of Russians that come over, right? But there's been a few times where he's put himself or his teammates in weird predicaments, and it's resulted in giveaways. And I think you clean that element up, that not only earns you more ice time, but that's going to get you at least the ice time that you have will be more in the offensive zone versus chasing the puck in the defensive zone.
Right. 100%.
And Joe's saying if we stunk, we could give him plenty of ice time, but we are competitive in playing playoff hockey. So Tocchet is going to play the players that are producing.
I would say playing playoff hockey is a little bit of a stretch, but I'll agree that they are definitely being more competitive than I thought they would be at this point.
Definitely the playoff hockey thing is a little bit of a stretch.
Hey, they're 5 points out of first place in the conference right now.
Hey,
there we go. Where's our cup? Damn it!
All right, let's see how
Ride it, baby. Now I want to see how this team reacts to some adversity, and I want to see how they kind of react to going on a little bit of a losing streak. How Talk's going to adjust to that, and it's just curiosity really on that, just to kind of see where this team is as far as their overall culture is going to go and how that's going to carry them through that. But I mean, we'll see what happens.
I mean, so
far, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say real quick, like I said at the end of the game, I'm pleased with where this team is right now.
Yeah.
To begin the day, Matty, they were with the 13 points. They were, last in the Eastern Conference. Not that it is pretty early, right? But only 5 points away. Tonight's 2 points now has shot them all the way to the second wild card. with the same record of the aforementioned Toronto Maple Leafs that cleaned the floor with us. So I mean, am I saying they're as good as the team as Toronto Maple Leafs? No, I am not. But it just goes to show that this start is much, much better than I think any of us could possibly imagine.
Yeah, I think that this has been a very good start, very strong start for this team, actually.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it has a different feel to it than the strong start we had a few years ago with Torts. I feel like this go around, it was more of, okay, this is clearly a team that feels like it's been rejuvenated. So, when you have that kind of vibe going on, it's, one of those things. Oh, and by the way, Joe says second wild card equals playoff hockey.
Touche. Touche, brother. Touche.
But so, I mean, overall, I would say in my closing thoughts, before we finish up our closing thoughts here for the show tonight, I will say this. I feel like the reaction of people panicking over the Flyers taking a couple of rough losses and not looking as sharp as they should. There are two things. One, there's going to be nights where you are not going to look good. That is inevitable. The best teams in the league have bad nights. I mean, everyone knows, like, do you really think that, you think every team's just going to go 82-0? It's just not going to be the case. There's going to be a night where they're going to look like shit. And the Flyers looked like shit against Toronto in particular. They did not look good. But they didn't look good against Winnipeg earlier on. They looked like crap in that game too. But then the very next game, they fucking crushed it. And then the game after that and the game after that. So it's like, no need to freak out over a bad game or two. And then...
Sorry, Pope.
And
I hate Cutter. I'm glad you moved to the office. So I don't have to see that disgusting Ducks jersey behind your left shoulder or right shoulder. Excuse me. No, where you were before earlier in the show. You changed locations.
I did change locations.
Yeah,
I had to. My battery,
jersey before.
My laptop was about to die.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, the Ottawa game wasn't too nice either.
Yeah, that was a bad game. They started off nice and they wound up falling apart. But
yeah, that was a rough one too.
It is rebuilding hockey.
Though.
Yeah,
tough assignment. Drew played very well leading that team.
Yeah, I mean, so again, you're not going to be perfect every night. You're going to have nights where you're going to be shit. And then the second part is, I said this earlier, and I'll keep on harping on it until the end of the year. This is a team that is still very young and is still growing. If there's any team that's going to go through some valleys and some peaks, it is going to be this team. I mean, this is a team that we knew going into this year, they were at best a bubble team. So that, by most counts, would tell you that this team's going to go through stretches where they're going to look bad, but then they're going to go through stretches where it's like, okay, this is what they're going to become. And that's what, again, I stress this, everyone freaking out and panicking over 2 losses or 3 losses, like, calm the fuck down. Calm down. We knew what this team was going into this year. Calm down. It is not the end of the world. So, and guess what? Rough few games, and they still got the win tonight. So, calm down.
It's just a game. What you have be made.
Yeah. So, that's my closing statement on that. What about you, gentlemen?
I mean, it does show the resiliency. When you're rebuilding and you're rebuilding with homegrown talent for the most part. And that's easily what could happen when we talked about, not being a lot of free agents out there. Well, nothing wrong with building up from within. I saw the 80s Flyers, build from like that and did a phenomenal job doing so. And who was on that team currently. So he's been there, done that. And I'm just, I'm enjoying the resiliency. I'm enjoying, Brian, to your point, the camaraderie of this team and seeing all the locker room handing Bernie's mask out to the player of the game. Yeah. Like it's just, you keep on seeing it more and more each year during this rebuild. That like because the locker rooms were very, very, very dry and impersonal, And then before they started cleaning house and changing up personnel, and now it's a good mix. It's a really good mix of guys that really feel like they could be themselves now, and that's not to discredit Torts, right? It did have a negative effect on some players that maybe didn't respond well, but it was a necessary evil. When you rebuild it, it's not, Maddie, they've lost a couple games. It's not going to be pretty, right? But eventually that mortar dries.
Yeah. And you learn a lot more from losing than you do winning. But at some point, the losing just has to stop entirely. And I think we're kind of getting to that point where we're going to start seeing that a little bit more. I still think we're a year off from really taking a giant leap in this rebuild. But it's tough when you don't have a lot of top-notch free agents out there that are going to want to leave here. Because like I was saying a few minutes ago, you have your big-name free agents they're all locking up deals with the teams that they're in. Like I said, McDavid, Kaprizov, Logan Cooley, all these guys, they're signing long-term deals and they're signing big-time money right now.
Right.
So that's why I should focus on keeping Zegras. Bring in additions via trade. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I do it all the time in NHL GM. So, no, I'm just kidding. Ignore that last part. But, having a team of homegrown talent, to Rob's point, is not a bad thing at all.
No.
You're figuring out what you have and you're learning to see what your holes are and where you're going to need the improvement and who still needs the development. So, I think the Flyers are in a good spot. I think I like the resiliency. I like the culture. I like what Talk is bringing. I like the way this team is responding to what Talk is telling them to do.
Right. I mean, a perfect example of taking someone from a trade that, talk about Zegras, coming over from his deal with Anaheim, becoming a restricted free agent, young player, tons of talent, showing and blossoming here in Philly right now. There's another perfect example of a young player from back in the day that came to the Flyers. Sure, it was a different circumstance, but he came over in a trade from Pittsburgh, and he turned out to be a really phenomenal player for the Flyers in 2 stints. And that guy happens to be a poster I have hanging up on the wall. That's Mark Recchi. So it's like you can still build a team of young players that will contribute very, very well to a franchise through trades. You just got to be smart about it at the end of the day. And Danny so far has not shown me any issues with that at the end of the day. I don't really have any worries.
No, I'm not worried at this point either. Like I said, I think this team is going to take a giant step forward next year. I think you have to address some needs still. I think, to Joe's point, they've been playing defensively sound for the majority of this season. Like I said, the Sealer Drysdale line has given up. I think it was something along the lines heading into, I think it was the Calgary game. It was like 2.47 goals a game. And then Sanheim and York have given up 1.47 or 1.86 or something along those lines per game too. So they're playing really well defensively. They're putting themselves in good positions, and they're forcing teams to the outside for the most part. Tonight could have been a 4-2 win if it wasn't for 2 bounces. So I'm all for people getting over being impatient or being patient. The one thing I will say is a lot of people are harping on Michkov. Let's remember he's 20 years old. Most of these guys, look at Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes took a couple years before he really exploded into this league. And I think Michkov is going to be much better than Jack Hughes. Sometimes it just takes a little development. Sometimes it takes some learning curves, especially for a kid who doesn't really speak English all that well. Give him some time. It's not like he's 25 years old. He's still a kid. Keep that in mind.
And also keep this in mind too, even though they've had some time to adjust, they also have a whole different system now that they are still getting used to.
Yep. And
So
it's actually a system.
right. So point being is that we don't need to jump off of the Ben. Everything's okay. The work's in progress. And I think that if this game proves that the Flyers can rebound after a terrible period, there was a time when we couldn't say that. And so far, I really can't say that I'm worried. The Flyers have done a much better job so far than I expected them to coming out of the gate. So let's keep the faith here. All right. All right. So with that, I think that'll do it for this edition of Flyers Talk A2D. Everybody in the chat, we love you guys. Thank you very much for coming in tonight, as always. The lifeblood here of A2D. Big win for the Flyers tonight, 5-4 in the shootout over the Habs. Next game they got coming up, they'll be finishing up their season series with the Nashville Predators. And hopefully they can get a win on them like they did in Philly. It'll be a little tough because Bridgestone isn't the easiest place to play in the league. But hey, you know what? Maybe they'll be able to.
I hate that fan base.
Most people do. So the catfish people don't make too many people happy. Anyway, so we will see you guys next week right here on A2D Radio for another edition of Flyers Talk A2D. Let me just double check here on the good old calendar here. See what we got on the docket. Do we? No, we do not. We do not have a game to react to next week because the Flyers will be playing Wednesday, so the day after. So we'll have a chance to preview the Flyers and Oilers. That'll be on November 12th.
Ooh, that's a tasty matchup.
So our first meeting with Sir Connor McDavid and his Edmonton Oilers. I just assume he's been knighted by Canada at this point. Anyway, so with that, we will see you guys next week right here on A2DRadio.com. Until then, you stay safe, you stay healthy out there. If you want to follow us, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll get all the notifications for us. Once again, brought to you by SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace and love, everyone.